Well, happy June 14th, all you Palm Springs Point of viewers. And Conrad, what is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is opening day, not baseball,
right.
but for California in general, post-COVID.
Throw them away. Yeah,
That's
throw them away. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things. You had a chance to interview Palm Springs Dance Project. So you've got a great interview with the director and maybe a little clip of their performance.
Yes.
And for me, it's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. So we're going to take a peek at the status of the Marilyn statue and then whisk over quickly to Oscars, where if you missed it, you really missed it, but they will probably be here next year. Gunhild Carling and her family, her troupe of multi-instrumentalists. So there we go.
I saw some video of that. I want to hear more about that. That's going to be good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Fantastic.
Good show ahead. Claudia, Marilyn is back in town. Back in town.
Like it or not. Yeah.
Like it or not. She is here. I know that her legs are standing up straight and her torso is getting washed, right? She's getting ready to make the big show.
I mean, she's slowly waking up. She came in on a flatbed truck midweek last week, sleeping in pieces and all bubble wrap. But now what are they doing? They're hosing her down. They're giving her a bath, waking her up slowly.
That's right.
So the legs are there.
The official unveiling is Sunday, June 20th. And let's take a quick look at this video.
Okay. So June 20th is going to be a big day. Yay or nay? I know that there's talk there's going to be protesters there, but what can you do? I mean, this has been the biggest controversy in town that's been going on for several months, right?
Right, exactly. And you know what? It is what it is. Let's see what happens. Let's get her up and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of anxious for that at this point, you know. Yeah. And on the other side, boy, let's talk about dance. I mean, Palm Springs Dance Project, they're fairly new, aren't they, to the Valley?
That's correct. They have actually been around for about a year now. And they, of course, are called Palm Springs Dance Project. I had a chance to sit down with Darcy Carosa, who's the executive director and the founder. And they are really working on a GoFundMe project that's going to help them gain money in order to help give dance clothes and classes and such to a variety of individuals here in the desert. Let's take a look at this really interesting video. Did you know that Palm Springs and the Coachella Valley is home to a thriving dance community? That's right. And I'm not talking about Oscar's Tea Dance on Sunday, which is also a blast. We're going to be talking today about a professional organization that is bringing dance to the community, to a variety of individuals of all ages. To help us with that discussion is our guest today, Darcy Carosa, who's the executive director and founder of Palm Springs Dance Project. Hi, Darcy.
Hello. Thank you, Conrad, for having me on today. Really excited to be here.
Of course. Always great to see you, and always great to talk about dance here in the Valley. I know that today we're going to be talking primarily about the GoFundMe project that you have going. I definitely want to talk about that. But let's make sure that our viewers get to know who you are. Are you a dancer, and how did you bring dance to the Valley?
Well, Conrad, it started with really pretty much when I was working at the Palm Springs Art Museum. And I was working as the managing director there of the theater. And I had started creating some dance programming. I wanted to get an opportunity to work with youth in the community. So I started a program as just an experiment, and I went out and found a dance company to work with, put on a program while I was working at the Annenberg, and it went fantastic. And I ended up leaving the museum and starting the event under my LLC and partnering with an artistic director, and that was in 2016. Our first show was in 2017.
So the dance program that you started in 2016, I think you said, is that the same dance program that you are now with at Palm Springs Dance Project?
In 2020, kind of reorganized a little bit, branched out more, because I really wanted to start focusing more on the community aspect as I started growing.
And I think that kind of goes along. I was reading some information on the group. So you are a grassroots organization.
You're right. It's a grassroots organization. I've lived here in the desert for over 40 years. And really our organization has been really built on through the efforts of so many local folks, volunteers who have helped run, the operations in terms of manning and staffing it.
Like me, I was a volunteer, right?
Right. You helped host some of our artists in previous programs.
Yes.
And then and we like to work really closely with community. So when we found out what you did, we were really excited, right? And one year you were our first and only MC for one of our programs.
I was very grateful for that. I had such a good time.
We've just really been growing through working with folks here in the desert. And we've been very fortunate to have a very strong supporter, the Western Wind Foundation, who has really helped us expand our educational programming. So through our education program, we do master classes of dance. In fact, we're getting ready to offer a free master class with a renowned Australian artistic director and choreographer who's going to be in town. Wow. We're going to be opening up that opportunity this afternoon. That will be for June 13th.
This goes along with the fact, or with the idea, that you are currently in the early days of a GoFundMe project. What is the money going for? Start dates? Do you have a figure that you're trying to get to? Give us some information on that.
We started a GoFundMe campaign for our scholarships and grants program. We set a goal of $7,500, which we consider a stretch goal. And what that is for is to fund, it'll fund us for over 12 months for offering scholarships, which put students through 3 full months of dance training. As I mentioned before, we have the grants that will put them in all of their, the dance shoes and clothing. It also allows us to do things like create these free dance classes for the community. Really exciting about that, though, is the Western Wind Foundation has a matching challenge right now. And so for every dollar that's contributed, they'll match. We're really excited about how it's growing and the support we're getting through community.
Thank you very much for joining us here. You know that I personally am a big supporter of the dance here in the desert, and I'm glad to see that Palm Springs Dance Project survived 2020, and that there is a future, and that dance is alive here in the desert.
It sure is, and thank you so much, Conrad. It's been a real pleasure.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Well, this is really interesting, Conrad. It just sounds like they're actually out to support a lot of the local youth and give them what they need in order to move within their profession, right?
Exactly. It should be really a great thing for them. And they're a good group that's going to be bringing dance to the desert. And that's always a good thing.
Well, it's interesting because, you've got the great dance program at the high school. I mean, dance is so, I wouldn't even say up and coming. It's been here and established, but there seems to be more and more of it. So as our community grows, right?
Exactly. You got it. That's exactly it.
So there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent here.
And Claudia, of course, speaking about talent, you went to see a very unique performer at Oscars this past week. Tell us who it was and what was that?
From Sweden, it's Gunhild Carling and her troupe of family and kids adjacent. Like her band this time was about 10 or so, aging from 13 to their 20s, plus, more like her age, where I think she's about 49 or 50, sax player and stand-up bass. But these kids everyone was a multi-instrumentalist, and they were changing from the drums to the washboard, from the oboe to the banjo, a ukulele thrown in, and of course there's tap dancing. Let's have a look. We're going to put a little clip together of all the different things that they did.
Let's see it. Claudia, you should have called me. I should have gone with you to that. That just looks amazing.
I know it was just crazy beyond, but she comes from a family of Swedish kind of like vaudevillian circus act, swing, jazz, her whole family when she was growing up. So it's been carried down. And what about those medieval bagpipes?
Who knew? Who knew we needed to hear that?
And then the tap dancing while she's playing an instrument.
You know what, folks? Only here in the desert. You should come to the desert and experience these things with us.
But no, we don't want too many people coming.
Okay, Claudia.
Secret, right?
That's right. Okay, Claudia, see you next week.
All right. Thanks, everybody.